Good day and welcome to our second in the series of CRM classes. You are welcome. I'm very sure that by now you are well convinced that you have taken a huge step to personal and professional development, and that you are with the best body that can give you the information, the strategies, and guidance and counseling that you need to achieve your goals and objectives. And in this class, we're going to be opening up our CRM, and we're going to be looking at strategy development process. Very shortly, before we delve fully into today's classes, I want to remind you that you can get access to our professional educational material on our social media handles on YouTube and Telegram. You can reach out to any of our facilitators and get relevant information about your professional needs. And reaching out to us will do you a whole lot of good. Welcome again. And before we start looking into strategy development, let's take a brief look into what we did in the last class. In our last class, we introduced CRM, talking about what a customer is and the essence of relationship, and then generally defining customer relationship management. And then quick highlights. Number one, transition from transactional marketing to relational marketing, showing that the sales and marketing in organization is no longer a departmental function, but an embodiment of the whole organization. Now we have moved from functions to processes. We have moved from department to systems. And then CRM shows a huge highlight in purposeful and proactive use of information. Purposeful and proactive use of information. CRM also utilizes IT, including information technology, information communication technology, to push the organization sales and marketing objectives. So we also understand that we have various types of CRM, including the operational, the combinational, the analytical, and the electronic CRM, amongst others. And without much ado, we want to delve into strategy development process, examining the key concepts of strategy development process. Kindly exhaust this video to the end to enjoy rich information on the strategy development process heading on our CRM program. Welcome once again, and I must assure you, you are at the right place and at the right time. Thank you. Strategy. Let's start from the definition of key terms. Strategy. Definition of key terms. Strategy. Strategy is a set of well mapped out. Strategy is a set of well mapped out activity put in place in order to create value. Remember, it's my popular saying that value is bi-directional. Anywhere value goes, value must come from there. Remember, to get what you need, you must use what you have. Remember, strategy is mapped out activity, well mapped out, clearly engineered activity, series of activity put in place in order to create value. Development. What is development? Development involves creating, idealizing, conceptualizing patterns and policies in order to push organization sales and marketing objectives. So whenever we talk about development in CRM, we mean that we are trying to create, to idealize whatever new strategy, or to improve our previous strategies in order to improve our output from our sales and marketing activities. For example, remember ICSMP as a body, we used to have physical classes until we saw the needs from our clients that we need to go virtual, full-time virtual. And thank God, now we are fully virtual. And imagine how soft and easy it is for you to have classrooms in your house, meaning that we well strategized and then we created. We found the need to map out, clearly outline activity in order to create value, in order to improve the value we have. Then we developed, we idealized it. It is one thing to discover a need. It is one thing to plan to cater for that need. It is another thing to actually get that need. Remember, we said every customer has a potential to buy. The power of a customer is in three. Great. Let's branch into this very briefly. Every customer has what we call mere wishful thinking. Mere wishful thinking. Everyone wants to buy a Bentley. Everyone wants to buy a Bentley. Everyone wants to own a Ferrari. But not everybody has the capacity to get it. Not even everybody will ever dream and touch a Ferrari in their dreams. That's just a joke on a lighter note. Now also we have what we call the will. The will. You know, the English people say, where there's a will, there's a way. We also have what we call the purchasing power, which many people ascribe to as money. The purchasing power. Now, if a customer has mere wishful thinking and you are trying to convince or to lead the prospect into a convert, you will find out that you are doing work in futility. Whoever is marketing a product to a mere wishful thinker is working in futility. Now imagine yourself being an owner of a fashion boutique and somebody on a tattered dress with slippers enter into your shop, pointing to the most costly dress in your shop. How encouraged will you be to attend to that person? But imagine yourself being in a fashion boutique, somebody parks a Prado, comes down with a designer slippers and beautiful dress on his or her body, and then points to a cloth in your shop. You be rest assured that this person really wants to buy. So idealistically, you must identify that mere wishful customers. Number one, how do you identify a mere wishful customer? Number one, they have the highest pricing system information. They have the pricing system information in their hand. In fact, before they come to your shop, they have researched the price of the product. They will tell you how much they are selling it in the warehouse, how much is coming, the product is coming out from the company. If you are buying a dozen, if you are buying 1,000 pieces, how much you'll be getting it. And they will even advise you on how much you should make on one. So if you see such a customer, already identify that that kind of person is a mere wishful thinker. Because if he already knows how much the product costs from the warehouse, why doesn't he or she go to the warehouse and pick it up? Now, will. Remember, I said where there's a will, there's a way. If a customer has a will, then the customer definitely will likely purchase from you once he finds purchasing power. Once the customer finds purchasing power, he will purchase because the desire, the innate desire to have it is there, even though at that particular time, purchasing power might not be too relevant. But know that once you convert such prospect, you are going to make a very good customer out of such person. Because once that product satisfies such clients, they are easy target that can recommend or refer other people to your product or organization. Then the biggest mistake a trader or a seller will make is to think that everybody that has purchasing power will buy from him or her. The mere fact that somebody is rich enough doesn't mean the person will find an essence to purchase. Remember, the mere fact that the person has money or the purchasing power doesn't mean the person will find the need to buy. Now, if the person peradventure finds the need to buy, there are so many vendors or options that they can take through to get these products or services. Why would they choose you? That is where your work comes into play. If a person has a purchasing power, you must be able to create a concept that will appeal to the person, showing that they need your services. Imagine now, if the Ekiti State government says today that market women must have CRM certificates before they can be given stores in Ekiti State, you will find out that almost all market women will borrow to take CRM professional courses. It is not that they don't have the money to take these courses, but they don't identify the need to take them. So imagine ICSMP going to the market space and telling market women that they should come and do a professional course. They will just keep laughing that I'm not even educated in the first place. But let government make it a criterion. Let ICSMP partner with the government, induce government to make a relevant law or something, and they now make it compulsory that, okay, you must have a CRM certification with ICSMP so that you can get a free store in Ekiti State or in Ogun State or in Osun State or peradventure in the state you are in now. Now, you'll find out that people will start running helter-skelter. So the biggest work you need to do when someone has the purchasing power but doesn't have the will is to try to idealize the need of your product in them. That is why we have inferential marketing. In CRM, we work more on inferences. We create a perception, a unique perception that is solely attached to our own product. That nowhere the customer goes or the client goes, they will never find that kind of interaction. And whenever they come in contact with that interaction, they recognize that interaction and they can easily relate it to our product or our organization. Remember, CRM is basically creating an interaction between your brand and an expected audience. So we don't need to define process. We just know that when we are talking about strategy development process, it is the first framework in CRM where we consider the business strategy and the customer strategy. We define or develop the business strategy and determine the customer strategy, and then we combine both together in order to push our sales and marketing objectives. So any CRM officer that fails to consider strategy development process as a key aspect, as a framework, in fact, like I said, it is the first important and most important framework in customer relationship management that you need to clearly understand and be able to use, so that you can be able to be on the top cadre of customer relationship professionals. Away from that, remember I mentioned that SDP involves the combination of business strategy, and customer strategy. Now, this is where work starts. Under business strategy, clearly note that the whole of the business strategy is not the function of the CR officer. You are not the one that will design the business mission or the vision, but it is your duty for you to be able to function properly in that organization, to clearly understand the mission and the vision of the organization you are pushing its product. Except by the fact that you are an entrepreneur that just have imbibed CRM skills yourself, then that's when you can be the one designing your mission or vision. As a CRM personnel, the organization is already existing. You come in, you must be able to clearly understand the mission and the vision of the organization. Now, when we talk about mission and vision, people usually think or compare these two concepts to what we refer to as motto. Anytime we mention business mission, you see different bodies saying their mission is God in God we trust, we go again. No. A business mission is an articulate document which entails the various sections of the organization's outlook to what the future of itself will look like. Now, the mission is like the whole of this circle. Let's try to visualize this. The business mission is like the whole of this circle. Then the vision is broken down. That is, the mission is broken down into visions. Please, this is a technical aspect of CRM that cannot be fully exhausted, even in a 4 hours class. But I'll bring the basic rudiments to you very briefly. Now, note, your vision can evolve from time to time, but your mission doesn't evolve. Your mission is singular and non-evolutionary, but your vision evolves from time to time. Let's say, for example, you are a startup fashion business outreach. You are just starting up, you want to create a designer line of your own, and then you are looking out to become an internationally recognized clothing brand. Note that, internationally recognized fashion brand. Now, remember, this is your mission. But also remember that mission will not happen by chance, and it will not happen at once. You will take articulate step-by-step procedures to achieve this your mission. And it is more easier for us to evaluate how swift we are heading to in terms of our mission by breaking this mission down and evolving its document from stage to stage. For example, you start up as a local brand, you win a whole local government. That might be your vision for a particular time, for a duration. And once you move from there, you are looking to cover a state. Once you move from there, you're looking to cover a country, and you go, maybe you cover a region, then you go maybe a continent, then before you know it, you are now a globally recognized brand. So the vision evolves from stage to stage, but the mission remains static and is definitive. We know what we want to achieve. ICSMP as a body, we have an outlook to be the top body that provides professional education and certification, and by the grace of God and the amount of information available to us, we are scaling heights, and it is a privilege for you to be on this train to the apogee of excellence. Now let's move away from that. Remember, a business vision and a business mission are documents. They are well documented prehistorical outlook of the future of an organization. That is, before it happens, we have the outlook of what we want to achieve, and they are a huge embodiment of our business strategy. Now, when we talk about customer strategy, we are looking at, we have our business strategy, we have what we want to sell, we have how we want to sell it, we have our vision to drive sales, and so on and so forth. But at the same time, we have our customer strategy. How do we bring what we have to sell? How do we ensure that by selling our products, we are going in line with our vision and our mission? There's a way you keep selling a product in the same way, but you keep devaluating your organization value. And there's a way you improve pricing with your product, and then you increase the evaluation of your organization. There's even a way you increase prices and decrease the evaluation of your organization. Let's take, for example, you are selling maybe confectionaries. Let's take chin chin or cake as an example, and then you started up selling maybe a cup for maybe 3,000 naira, delivering on time. Then because you are now big and you have customers, in fact you are using dispatch riders, you now charge 5,000 for that same cup now, without the influence of inflation. And yet at this junction, you do not have full control over your dispatch rider. At the time you were dispatching yourself, you did not have any issue with satisfying customer. But now, because you are so big, your dispatch riders can decide to take the product to the customer very late, or they can even excuse themselves for the day and ask the customer to ask for a refund, and customers keep getting turn downs and dissatisfaction and all those. Then you find out that the essence of your product will gradually drop, not because the quality of the product is failing, but because of the extra moral values that are supposed to come with the total package is depreciating. Remember, Philip Kotler, who happens to be one of the lecturers in Northwestern Atlantic University and a research person in CRM and other management research areas, he helped us understand that products of the same specification do not compete against themselves. Products of the same specification do not compete against themselves. Now, how do products compete? We're going to look very well into this when we get to the place of product evaluation and other products related topics. But I'll just tell you that if, for example, you have a Samsung phone, pardon me for using product name now on this video, a Samsung phone, and peradventure you have an Ericsson or Sony phone now that has the same camera, front camera size, back camera size, the same storage capacity, that has everything the same. Philip Kotler is telling us, because they have the same specification, they have the same screen size, memory space, everything, these two products cannot compete against themselves. Okay, let's come to the local environment. Let's take plastic chairs, for example. You get Thermolineo product and you get a Thermoplast product. Both are two plastic companies, and you get the same design, the same size of chair, the same color, but the same everything, but from these two organizations. What Kotler is telling us is that these two chairs cannot compete against themselves. What then will be competing against themselves in the product? That's the extra value. That is the essence of determining a customer strategy. Take, for example, look at Toyota, who is the biggest auto seller in Africa, found this market and used its market as the strongest hold for its organization development. You find that no automobile company can outsell Toyota. In fact, if Toyota stops selling cars in Africa today, it will take other automobile companies up to 2 or 3 years to, I know you can attest to what I'm saying, even from the everyday ride you take on your roads. And how will they achieve this? By making sure that they have a constant interaction with their customer base having first of all determined who their customer is and the specific needs and requirements of their customers depending on their environment and other factors. Remember, you can use a Toyota car for more than 1 year without maintenance. It will just be shouting when you are driving. Nothing will still happen until when you have money to repair, and then you go again. But if you try that with some other products, you might have a sorry story to tell. So that's just to share an example of Outlook. We can also take an example of HP. Look at the sales and marketing strategy of HP across Africa, especially in Nigeria, with their after sales services, repair services. You can easily walk into any of their repair shops if your product is still under warranty and repair. These are specific customer strategy, because if we don't have a very articulate, a very interesting customer strategy, we will not be able to implement our business strategy. Even when we're implementing it, we will not get to the pinnacle of what we are expected to achieve. We cannot move from relevance to relevance except we appropriately combine the business strategy with the customer strategy. That is the need for us to understand the strategy development process. And we look out to share more information with you on CRM and strategy development process, other processes under the CRM framework. To share more value with you, kindly visit our social media handles on YouTube and Telegram to get more professional education materials. And you can also use our lecture notes, the instantaneous voice notes, and other relevant materials to do well, make yourself ready, equipped for the ever-bubbling labor market waiting ahead of you. Thank you very much for your time and joining in the class. My name is Banjo Babatunde Amos.